shattered after discovering my partner's affair with their best friend. It was a Tuesday morning, the kind that starts with burnt coffee and mismatched socks. I just stepped out of the shower, humming to a Taylor Swift song stuck in my head, when I noticed Mark's phone buzzing on the bathroom counter. He'd forgotten it, again. Normally, I'd ignore it, but the screen lit up with a name that made my stomach flip. Jessie. His childhood best friend. His work wife. The person he'd assured me 100 times was just a friend. Can't wait to see you later. The message hovered on the lock screen. My hands went cold. The red flags had been there for months, I realize now. Mark worked late more often, claiming financial stress from his startup. He'd come home smelling like Jessie's citrus perfume instead of his usual coffee and cologne scent. When I teased him about it once, he laughed it off. "We share an office, babe. You know how cramped it is." But then came the erased texts, the sudden obsession with his appearance, the way he'd flinch when I touched his shoulder, like my fingers were made of guilt. Last week, Jessie came over for dinner. They joked about inside stories I wouldn't get, their knees brushing under the table. When she left, I caught him staring at her car until its taillights vanished. "She's just going through a rough patch," he said. I wanted to believe him. Back in the bathroom, I stared at his phone. My reflection in the mirror looked pale, a stranger. I typed in his passcode, our anniversary unchanged for 5 years, and opened their chat. Emojis, heart eye emojis, flirty gifs, plans to meet at a hotel downtown during his business trips, photos I wish I could unsee. I scrolled for minutes, hours, days, I don't know. My legs gave out. I sat on the cold tile, reading the words, "I love you," in a text dated 2 days after my birthday, the same day he'd bought me tulips and taken me to our favorite Italian spot. When Mark came home, I was still on the floor, his phone clutched in my hand. He froze in the doorway. "What's wrong? Are you hurt?" I held up the screen. "You are." His face collapsed. No denial, no rage, just quiet shame. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this," he whispered. Turns out it had been going on for 8 months. 8 months! They'd bonded over stress, then loneliness, then whatever this was. He kept saying, "I never wanted to hurt you," like that was a shield against the truth. I asked the questions you're supposed to ask. Why her? Was it me? Did you ever love me? He cried. I didn't. My tears felt buried under miles of ice. That was 3 days ago. I've been staying at my sister's, cycling between numbness and panic attacks. I can't eat, can't sleep. I keep seeing Jessie's face in my head, her grin at our wedding, her arm looped around Mark's waist in a photo from last summer. Was she laughing at me then? Mark's blowing up my phone with apologies. He's begging for therapy, for a second chance. I'll cut her off. I'll do anything. Part of me wants to believe him. The other part wants to scream until my lungs dissolve. My sister says I should lawyer up. My friends say burn his stuff on the lawn. But all I can think about is the way he used to tuck my hair behind my ear and call me his always. Last night I opened my laptop to draft divorce papers. Instead, I found myself rereading our old emails, the ones from when we were long distance, when he'd write me poems about constellations and promise to love me in every universe. Who was that man? Did he ever exist? And now Jessie's texting me? Can we talk? It's not what you think. I haven't replied. TLDR, found out my husband of 7 years is in love with his best friend. Now I'm stranded between rage and hope, wondering if fresh starts are just fairy tales.